Hello everyone, my name is Billy from Piano and Pies and this is the tutorial for Love You Anyway. Now there is a version, apparently an unreleased version from a few years back, which there's a lot of tutorials for, which is really good. However, the released version that's just come out now in February 2023 has changed key. So we're in the key of E, whereas before I believe it was in the key of D. So I'm going to go over the full song with the correct chords. If you want the chords, you can head on over to Patreon, but let's jump straight in with the introduction. So there's an introduction which is E major, and the strumming for that is, and I'm going to use that throughout most of the song. A little bit more detail on that in the Patreon post. However, after the E major chord, we go to A major. So we have E major to A major, then E major to B major. So the full introduction goes like this. E, A major, E major, B major. And that is the intro. So for the first verse, we start with an E major chord, which on the fourth beat goes to the A major chord like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it was E, A, and then back to E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We then have two beats on C sharp minor, so we're going to have to play a bar chord here from fret 4 on the A string. Then we go to the B major chord for two beats. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's an A major chord to finish off the verse. So the full verse goes like this. E major, up to A, then back to E. C sharp minor, B major, A major. That loops around twice for the first verse. So for the pre-chorus, we have a bit of a fiddly part here. We have C sharp minor, and then it goes straight up to a C sharp minor with a D sharp in the bass. Basically, all that means is C sharp minor chord, get rid of the little finger, and move this finger from the D string to the A string on fret 6. Yeah, the strange chord is what we call a passing chord. Then we've got this version of what is an E major chord. It looks strange, it looks kind of like a C major chord with a bar, which is exactly what it is. And we have, so that is 7, 6, 5 on the A, the D and the B string, and then barred here. Oh, my electricity went off then. And I'm back now. So, how strange. So we have 7, 6, 5, A, D and B. I've completely lost my train of thought now. And that is the third chord. And then it goes to a G sharp minor on the fourth beat. Now they're all one beat, these chords. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a really hard progression there. What you could do is just play C sharp minor for 2 and then G sharp minor for 2. If you're a bit of a beginner, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is fret 4 on that top string. However, the full version, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's a bar of A major to finish off the pre-chorus. And that happens twice. Let me demonstrate. That then repeats. So just before we move on, you'll probably notice that there's a lot of different chords, and you might be thinking, oh, when do the chords match up with the lyrics, or how long do I play certain chords for? Well, you can head on over to my Patreon page, where I've got two different PDFs, one with the lyrics and the chords where they match up so you know exactly when to follow along with the vocalist. There's also just a normal chord chart, so if you just want the actual chords and how many bars you play each one for, as well as the full structure, it's all on Patreon in the £2 tier. I'd also like to say thank you to the people on the screen. Those people are my current patrons. They are fantastic and they support me and they make this job worthwhile. However, back on with the song. The chorus cycles between A major, E major and B major like this. A, E major, A major, Then a quick change from E to the B. That's the first half of the chorus. The second half is C sharp minor, and then that C sharp minor with that D sharp in the bass. Then it goes to an E major. And then it's an A to a B. So now I'll play the full chorus. If you want to skip ahead, click on the timestamp or follow the timestamp to the next part. Here's the chorus. After the chorus, there is a small link that just connects to the next verse. It's just an E major chord going to an A major chord. And at that point, things start to repeat. There is a second verse, exactly the same as the first verse. There is a pre-chorus, same as the first pre-chorus. And then a second chorus, which is the same as the first chorus. And then it leads into the bridge, which is different. So the bridge is cycling between E major, A major, E major, B major. So all chords we know up to now, and it's just cycling between them. The final chorus is very similar to all of the other choruses, except they extend it a little bit. So the chorus, I'm just going to play through the full thing, because it's just more chords that we know. So A major, E major, A major, E to B, then the C sharp minor with the D sharp, then an E major chord, A to B, and then A major, then C sharp minor to this D sharp, E major, a full bar of A major, finally C sharp to B major. Now there's a lot of chords there. If you want to get that, you can head on over to Patreon, where you can get the full chords as well as the lyrics, and you can see where the chords and the lyrics all match up. That's over on Patreon, links are in the description. However, on to the outro. So the outro is almost the same as the introduction. We have E major, A major, E major, B major. And you can finish it off with a nice E major chord. And there we go, job's a good one. And there we go, pretty straightforward song, really catchy actually, I quite like that one. So, as mentioned earlier in the video, if you want to get all the chords and whatnot, you can head on over to Patreon, links are in the description. However, please like and subscribe. I'm getting so close to 1,000 likes and 1,000 subscribers, should I say. So let's see if I can get there before the end of February. Thank you very much for watching, see you in the next one.